Denzel Condolini back with another video. Y'all already know what it is. We about to get straight into it. This is another one from yours truly, the Scary Cherry. Go ahead and go through their channel and see what they got, but not before you go ahead and see what we about to get into right now. You dig? Lego. This is even Megalodon was afraid of this creature. So basically these are creatures that probably are some of them are extinct, I'm sorry, and they are not even in existence anymore, because Megalodon is not even really in existence. Nobody has caught Megalodon, you dig? But Lego.
We all know what the megalodon was, and based on what we know, it's logical to assume that they were the scariest sea beasts to ever live.
Damn, what's that shark called? That ugly ass shark.
But terrifyingly, we need to break the news that might be wrong. There are worse things out there. These are 20 sea monsters that are scarier than the megalodon. Number 20. Mosasaurus. We'll begin with an ancient creature that many of you are likely to be familiar with if you happen to watch a major box office hit some years back, simply known as Jurassic World. Yes, I know that the next two films weren't exactly the greatest, but hey, we'll always have the first one to remember various things, which includes a key creature that I'm going to talk about now. Because in that movie, there was a scene where a giant aquatic creature goes and rushes out of the water in order to eat some fish in front of a cheering crowd. That was indeed Mosasaurus, and it was something that absolutely could rival the megalodon in terms of fierceness and intensity, because in the minds of many, it was the apex predator of the oceans in which it roamed, and not the shark. Obviously, there's some debate about that, and if you're curious, this particular behemoth ruled around 65.5 million years ago, if not even further back in time, which makes it very old and something that we should be glad only resides.
Where are the fossils? Do we have fossils? I'm gonna go look that up and see if we got any fossils. If I do find the information, I might just go ahead and put it up. But let's see though, man. If we got fossils, that's crazy that this big, gigantic ass, this thing almost looks like a alligator, but with fins, and it can swim super fast. You know what I'm saying? So that's way more dangerous than a shark or any type of big ass megalodon. Look how big the mouth can open up and eat and chomp on something, you dig? But let's keep going, you dig?
In the history books today. The reason for that statement was that it was a creature that had evolved in such a way that it would be perfect to swim through the ancient waters of the world and devour just about everything in sight. So, massive shark versus the lizard? The lizard may just have it. May, I say. Even Megalodon was afraid of this creature. Before we go on, like this video, smash the subscribe button, and click the notification bell right now, or this centipede will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. Number 19. Frilled shark. Now I'm going from one ancient shark to another one. Nothing could possibly go wrong with this. Often referred to as the living fossil, the frilled shark is a special shark that doesn't resemble many of the species of shark that live in the oceans today, and that makes it both unique and terrifying, even when you compare it to the megalodon. But what makes it so special? Well, first, it does not have many of the standard features a shark is known for, such as not having a large dorsal fin, but rather it has numerous fins on its side and the bottom of its body. Its skin also looks very rugged and worn, which may have likened it to certain types of eels. In fact, the frilled shark has been compared to an eel a lot because of its length and movement capabilities, which is appropriate given that it's only about 6.6 feet long at maximum. Now, if you want to witness one of these
that thing looks super weird.
Sharks up close, you're going to need to go 5,000.
Like, look at that goddamn weird looking freak. What the fuck?
below sea level in certain parts of the ocean, like the Atlantic and Pacific, though some reports have it close to the surface in other areas, such as the Suruga Bay in Japan. But why would you want to check out this shark given all that I've said and shown? It's definitely beyond me. In fact, you'd actually...
That joint is butt ugly. I'm sorry, man. That thing is hideous.
Be one of the lucky ones to see it because it often doesn't come up to meet anyone on the surface. So it's really much more scary.
Stay your ugly ass at the bottom. We don't want to see you. Stay your ugly ass at the bottom where nobody can see you. We don't want to be frightened by your ugly face, goddammit.
Megalodon, it's all about perspective. Sometimes being different is more terrifying, and this thing is definitely different.
All the ugliest fish stay at the bottom, but most of the fish that stay at the bottom at the ocean that we can't get to, we can only send stuff down there like submarines. That's majorly built up to sustain that water pressure. So boom, we got those fish that's down at us. Most of them are translucent and they glow and they light up, but their faces are ugly as a motherfucker. Them things are ugly as shit. Yeah, go look it up.
18. Blue whale. Considering that sharks and whales typically don't go together, you'd be forgiven for thinking that this is a dumb pick, but there are certain things that can't be ignored about the blue whale, including the fact that it's the biggest animal in the world today. Though there's a lot of debate about just how big that it could actually get, because originally the thought was that it was around 100 feet in length, if not longer, but after some more accurate measurements, it seemed to be more like 90. The rub there is that this means the blue whale is actually 30 feet larger than Megalodon at its accepted measurements, and there are some who think that the ancient shark was much bigger, but fossil records put it at about 60 feet at max. So that's close enough to cause the Megalodon to at least be cautious around this big beast. Plus, while the Megalodon is big and strong, the blue whale has girth. It weighs about 200 tons, well more than the shark. But that would just make it more of a meal, you might say. And that's definitely an option considering what the shark is known to have done. But there is such a thing as too much of a meal. The Megalodon was known to eat a ton or two a day, meaning that if it did try to eat the whale, it'd be done for in a few bites. Not very efficient at all. Plus, blue whales live in pods, so it'd have to pick one off instead of doing a direct assault. And that doesn't sound very shark-like now, does it?
If your business kept on employees through the pandemic, Innovation Refunds can see if it may qualify for a payroll tax refund of up to...
Number 17. Goblin shark. Well, the last...
That's what the fuck it was. Remember earlier I was like, what's the name of this shark? What is the name of this shark? Goblin shark. It's a goblin fucking shark. It's ugly as hell. Basically, the mouth of this shark expands about down here. It literally expands and it gulps up its prey with its ugly ass clown mutant nose. Ugly ass fish. Shark fish. Whatever the fuck this shit is. But that's what it does. You're gonna see.
Shark I showed you had a bit of an ambiguous nature to it in terms of whether it was actually more scary than the Megalodon. But this one, well, yes, this is one that would very easily fit into a horror movie. I'm talking about the goblin shark, also sometimes referred to as the vampire
boy, your
shark,
mouth
and
is
scarily enough,
nasty as
to it in terms of whether it was actually more scary than the Megalodon. But this one, well, yes, this is one that would very easily fit into a horror movie. I'm talking about the goblin shark. Also, sometimes...
boy, your mouth is nasty as hell. You got that big ass horn on your shit, boy. Yo, this joint is ugly as hell.
Referred to as the vampire shark. And scarily enough, this is another living...
They call it the vampire shark too, yeah, it's ugly ass. But that is fucked up. That's a baby jump. So you can just imagine being caught up, you know what I'm saying? Caught up with one of these things, big ass trout nose, and caught up with the teeth, you'll be fucked. And I'm super happy that these things are all the way at the bottom and no one sees them because they're atrocious. Carrying on.
Fossil of the old world, which honestly is terrifying in its own right because that means that this one has been existing for millions of years and even nature can't kill it off. Now, if you were to ask me to pick out one thing in order to ensure that it's scarier than the megalodon, well, that would have to be in how it looks and how it eats its prey. I know those are two things, but get over it. You see that elongated nose? Well, that's full of electromagnetic sensors which can detect even the smallest discharge of electricity, such as in a prey's brain. And when it does find food, it'll not only lock it.
That sound looks fucked up.
On it actually extends its mouth from its body and then chomps down on its foe. Yes, this is the xenomorph of the deep sea, and remember that this was around long before the idea of the Alien franchise came about. On average, the goblin or vampire shark is said to be around 10 feet long, but because of their rarity and the fact that they live in the Mariana Trench, they could potentially be much larger. And as we all know, the bigger they are, the scarier they are. Make no mistake though, the megalodon is a terrifying shark no matter what, but this is one that will actually make you scream in terror as its mouth comes towards you, and that might honestly be a fate that's worse than death.
With his big ass nose. Mouth and nose coming at you.
Number 16. Stonefish. Now, if I were to tell you that our next stop on this tour...
I would say this fish is the devil. This fish is your worst nightmare. It looks like a rock. You'll be down there, you know what I'm saying, thinking that this is a rock. And I think it got pricks at the top. If you don't see these pricks right here, you'll see them. And it stings you. And once you step on it, it injects you with some poisonous ass venom. And you're fucked. You're done. You're fucked.
You all are fucked.
You're basically gonna be at the bottom of that ocean trying to get some air, trying to breathe. You're gonna be plumped up. You're gonna get swollen up. Your lip's gonna be big as fuck.
Your lip is swollen.
And it's over. Don't fuck around with the fuck around. If you go down that jump, wear some sandals, beach shoes, water shoes, whatever they call that shit.
of the ocean's past and present would take you to Australia, you
and
would
they
likely
carrying them things like it's just a game.
feel very nice and safe in that knowledge. You wouldn't think their beautiful waters would be full of deadly creatures, but I mean, it's Australia, home of great food, coral reefs, incredible landmarks. Yeah, both in the past and the present, there are terrifying things that you need to avoid in the waters there, and the stonefish is one of them. One of the easiest reasons this fish is so dangerous is that they prefer to lay low and camouflage themselves within their surroundings, making it easy to accidentally provoke it and then get stung by it. The poison of the stonefish is so strong that people are known to beg for limbs to be cut off just in order to stop the pain from happening.
Did he just say they cut their own limbs off just to stop the pain? What?
To accidentally provoke it and then get stung by it. The poison of the stonefish is so strong that people are known to beg for limbs to be cut off just in order to stop the pain from happening.
Woo! Oh my God, I told you, the devil. Look at the face. Those are the eyes. That's the fucking frown. It don't smile. I told you it's demonic. It don't smile. It frowns. And it waits. And it camouflages. Look, it's trying to camouflage with that. And all of this that exists right here. But it got the pricks waiting on its prey. Because it is sent from hell.
And it could kill you if an antidote is not administered. The megalodon is scary, but it will honestly give you a fast death.
Look at the face. Look at the face. All of them have that dumbass mouth. You know some fishes, they smile. We've all seen fishes that have a face that's smiling. This is satanic. Not satanic. This is demonic right here. This is a demonic fish. Don't go around with the fuck around because the round will you over. I'm telling you.
However, actually wanting to lose a limb just because of poison from an animal
Oh my
you touched,
God, bro. Look at the face, bro. Oh my God, bro. Look at the face, bro. That looks like someone's face, bro. Oh my goodness. Oh, this gotta be the thumbnail. Oh my. Look at the face.
well, that's another level of fear altogether. Plus, it really loves the camouflage.
That just looked like someone's head that was decapitated and it's shriveled up or something.
Wanting to lose a
Oh,
limb just
hell
because
nah.
of poison from an
Look at
animal you
this.
touched?
This looks like a head. Face, nose, mouth. This looks like an ancient head that they dug up somewhere with a human face. That's evil. Now that, I told you this junk was demonic. I told you. Don't fuck around with the fuck around, cause this this
Well, that's another level of fear altogether. Plus, it really loves the camouflage itself, not making a move until something steps on it. It's going to strike with its 13 poison-filled spines. Just looking at them is enough to make you shiver. Equally as bad, the stonefish prefers very shallow waters, thus making them very likely to be found by people who happen to go to the same spots to fish in. That makes another key difference between this fish and the shark, as the megalodon was said to only go to the fish in. That makes another key difference
Look at that,
between
look
this
at that.
fish and the
That's
shark,
where it
as
comes
the
out from.
megalodon was said to only go to the shore to possibly nest based on fossil records. However, the stonefish actually lives in the tropical waters of Australia and beyond. So yes, it's not something that you want to end up dealing with. Number 15. Deep sea dragonfish. Sometimes to get your food, you have to be clever, and when it comes to the deep-sea dragonfish, it most definitely is clever, and that makes it very, very terrifying. When comparing it to our shark friend, it definitely has it beat in one area, that being size. The deep-sea dragonfish only grows to about 6 inches tall, which to some would make it a lot less scary, but there's a catch here. They're made to survive well and truly. This is a fish that has made many tricks to use to get its food. For example, like many creatures in the trench, deep-sea dragonfish are bioluminescent. If you don't know that term, it means that they can emit light within their body. For the deep
That's what I was talking about those fish that's deep at the bottom. Bioluminescent. I think that's what I said, right? If I didn't say that, that's what I meant to say. Bioluminescent. You dig?
sea dragonfish, though, it glows pure red, and scientists are actually baffled as to why. Furthermore, the deep-sea dragonfish will use its bioluminescence and its red glowing ability in order to communicate with others like it, or even to camouflage with its surrounding environments. That makes it a tactical predator, and a prey that's hard to catch. Now we'll talk about its hunting tactics. Not unlike certain other fish, the deep-sea dragonfish has a protrusion, and it'll use it to touch other fish. This fish will think that they've found something to eat, but the reverse is actually true. The dragonfish is going to lunge out with blinding speed and get its meal, and then go back into hiding. And so it's a fish that knows how to hunt incredibly well, and glows red for good measure. That's definitely something to be scared of. This comparison is very much one of a brute versus an assassin, and while brutes can be scary, it's the
Every
assassin.
time I keep seeing that picture, it looks like a cartoon to me.
Everyone, it's Sam from NYC Look.
Let go.
And today
I
will
like
show you this
Rolex,
beautiful
but I want
watch,
to see
just 36 millimeters.
the rest of this video.
It's the assassins that you'll learn to fear. Number 14. Atlantic wolffish. Now I'm honestly excited to talk about something like a wolffish, because if you think about it, that means that someone named this fish because it reminded them of...
Yo, I'm sorry. Will I get banned for cutting up on these fish, like joning on them, making fun of the fish? Yo, that's ugly.
excited to talk about something like a wolffish,
Yo, that
because if you
fish
think about
looks
it,
like
that means that someone named this fish
someone
because it
smacked
reminded
the
them of a...
out of his ass, and he just he just got so confused. That goddamn, that fish needs some braces. Look at the
Because if
teeth.
you think about it, that means that someone named this fish because
That joke needs some braces. That joke lips big as shit. That joke got some goddamn swollen, big ass lips with some goddamn. That shit is ugly, man. I'm sorry.
it
Sorry.
reminded them of a wolf, and wolves are awesome and misunderstood.
That joke look like a demon, boy. You fucking ugly.
So that means it might be intended.
You ugly. You need to get some braces. Ugh.
But not exactly terrifying, right? Well, no, we're not that fortunate. Because truth be told, it's a fish that goes by many different names, each equally as frightening as the last. Those being devilfish, wolf eel, Atlantic catfish, sea wolf, ocean catfish, sea cat, and more. Although I'm not really sure how the fish would feel about not just these names, but being called a dog and a cat by different people. Getting to why it's scary though, that would be its teeth. They are sharp and protrude right out of the mouth, so you don't have to guess too hard as to why this scares a lot of people. What's more, they can actually grow to be about 6 feet long and weigh about 50 pounds, so it does have bulk to back up its bite. Now, yes, speaking on a full comparison level, the megalodon has bulk, power, and much more teeth than the
That don't look
Atlantic
like it's
wolffish,
dying.
so that should get it the check mark, and in many ways it does.
He's probably
But when you
killed
look at the
that
pictures
thing.
of the Atlantic wolffish, there's an intimidation factor here, despite its smaller size. In the end, you can decide whether it's worth comparing the creatures or not. Number 13. The fangtooth. Now, there are a lot of things that make the fangtooth truly scary, despite it not exactly being something that humans should fear. After all, they only grow to be 7 inches long. But make no mistake, these are creatures that aren't afraid to go after prey and literally sink their teeth into them in order to make their meal. Not to mention, they have to be clever and calculating in terms of their hunting habits because they live in the depths of the ocean, 16,000 feet at times. If they weren't able to live there,
See, I told you all the ugliest fish live at the bottom. Telling you. You dig. All the ugliest fucked up fish that look like they've been ran over by a car already. Look, they pretty much at the bottom with the rest of them ugly ass fish.
they'd be wiped
They
out.
all
So the fact
a big,
is,
ugly
this 7
ass family.
inch fish has become something that people fear, so it makes it special. And you won't have to actively worry about this fish killing you, but would you want to find that in your boat or on the end of a fishing line? I didn't think so. Number 12. Anglerfish. The anglerfish is one that I very much loathe to talk about, not the least of which is that I wouldn't even hesitate to tell you the thing is scarier than the megalodon. It's true, it is, and at points there's honestly no refuting that, because while the megalodon is a
I
massive
ain't gonna
shark,
front. That's an ugly ass fish, but that junk looks tight.
while the megalodon is a massive shark from history that needs to be appreciated on some level, the anglerfish
That junk looks kind of cool, yo. Like the way it spikes, that shit looks dope. But you got an ugly ass frown, though. You got an ugly ass grill, my G. I'm pretty sure he lives at the bottom with all the ugly fish.
is a terror of the modern world that we should all be grateful that it rarely, if ever, graces the surface of the waters. But let's get into why this thing is well and truly terrifying. That would be its hunting habits. In the midnight zone and below in the oceans, which are inhabited by many terrifying creatures and is bereft of sunlight, the anglerfish uses its protrusion to emit a light out into the darkness. As you may have guessed, this is bad for the fish of the water because this is a very obvious trap. However, the fish don't get that, so they go and swim over to the light to see what it is, and as they examine the light like a moth to a flame, the anglerfish comes in and eats them full stop. That's terrifying, efficient, and a dangerous mix. Plus, have you actually looked at this thing? Yes, the megalodon has big shark energy, but the anglerfish looks like the freaking devil. In fact, others have named it the sea devil, and I don't really blame them for that at all. However, if you're still not sold on it, I've got you covered. Every main anglerfish that you see in the world or on camera is 99% of the time going to be female. But why? Because the females are much bigger than the males, by a freaking huge margin. So when they
In
want
my last video, they said the anacondas are fucked up and they will eat you, but the females are worse. What is it with the female breed of animal, you know what I'm saying, that is bigger and more vicious? Like, it's crazy.
to mate, the males literally fuse with the females in a parasitic way, and there are no words for how wrong that is. Number 11. Giant squids. Now I'll talk about a terror of the deep that has indeed inspired many a legend about itself, both accurate and not, and it's also very much a terror of the depths even to this day. This is the tale of the giant squid. But there's a lot of irony with this creature, to be clear, as these are creatures that, despite us having known about them for decades and centuries, we don't exactly have the book filled out on them just yet. Even their size is a mystery at points, as many scientists believe they average around 40 feet in length. But others feel that because they live at massive depths in the ocean, they could be much larger than that. But nobody knows, and that's terrifying to think about because a 40-foot squid is pretty massive. So now there might even be a larger one that's not named the Kraken. It's freaky stuff. This leads to why it might be the reason that it's so terrifying. If you were in the ocean, you'd see the megalodon coming, and sure, you might not be able to avoid it, but then you'd see it come in with its girth. With the giant squid, though, it could sneak up on you with a cloud of ink, or even grab you with its tentacles and drag you down, or apparently bite you to death with its beak, which they absolutely do have. It's not very cool, but it is very terrifying. Number 10. Japanese spider crab.
So look, man, I'm gonna get at y'all in the next one. Yours truly, Denzel Kundalini. Tap in, like, subscribe. Y'all know what to do.